Yeah, so let's start it up and let's look inside and see what we can find in here. So this is the boot up time. You can see how long it takes. It's not too bad. It varies. Sometimes it's a little longer, sometimes it's a little shorter, but for everything that it does, it's worth the wait for the boot up. All right, so right off the bat, this is an MU Mustard OS screen. You can customize it. You can pick basically any layout you want. You could download all this customization. As you can see, it actually gives you Wi-Fi, it plugs into Wi-Fi. So you can actually update it. There's some updates that it needs sometimes, and you could play PC ports games on it, which is an interesting feature that I didn't really realize it had until I actually, picked it up and started playing it. So explore content, that's where you go to your games, your collection. You can add games in that collection. History, this is a history, of all your games you've played. Applications, different downloaded applications. You can turn it off. And this is a reboot in case of, any minor technical difficulty you have or glitch, you reboot it and, it fixes it usually there. Configuration, this is where you do all your customizations, your setups. You can change the layout in the background, and information just tells you, a little bit about the device. Storage space, what it has. Primary storage, 50 gigabytes, not bad. System storage, 7 gigabytes. So, as you can see, I've kind of used up a decent amount of it, but I have a ton of games, including PlayStation 1. And it's pretty much all I need. You don't need a big memory card for this if you're just playing retro games, And so let's get into it. Let's go to explore content. This is what the games list looks like. So I have Atari, Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, Nintendo Game Boy Advance. I will say Game Boy Advance is the best games to play on this. It's the best view, it's the best screen, it's perfect for it. And Game Boy Color as well. Super Nintendo is really good too. Ports is what I was talking about. This is your PC, old school PC games, which we'll get into. And here's your Sega Genesis. And here's your PS1. So let's get into what PS1 looks like. Let's do Final Fantasy IX. Those of you that are Final Fantasy fans, you will appreciate the fact that you could play this on a freaking handheld. This just jumps right into where I left off. So if you know this spot with, Queen Braun and you're a band of thieves and you're trying to steal the princess, right? It's the day in there, so it's pretty awesome. So this is all run from RetroArch, which is a system, that can run all those games from PS1 down. To get out of it, you hit X and menu at the same time, and you just close content, boom. And it literally saves right where you left off. I think it's a great feature. You don't have to save state, which I'll show in a later video, or maybe in this one, how you can save it depending on how far we get with this one here. So it's got Final Fantasy, Legend of Dragoon, all this stuff. I haven't played a lot of these. I just went kind of download crazy because I got excited about all these games I could potentially play. So that was a quick little Final Fantasy, but let's get into the bread and butter of this device. If you like Game Boy Advance games and you're wanting to play Game Boy Advance games, this is the device. This is definitely the device for you. So let's do a leaf green. See how that looks. Boom, see? Boosted it from RetroArch. Perfect. And just like that. You boot right into the game. This is all the little setup. I'm going through it. Close that. I'll show you. Let's see how Sega looks. Let's do Sonic. Boom, right where I left off. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, Almost died there. Wait for the spikes. I mean, you grew up playing this, you'll love and appreciate this for sure. Oh no! And I died. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. And you go to save states. Say if you want to save it, I will cover it in this video. You literally hit the X menu, you hit save state, right? And you can pick your slot. So you go down, which slot do you want to save it to? Let's say 0. So it'll save it to slot 1. It always goes 1 slot over. You hit save state. Boom. So it'll save right when I died and load it into this screen. Cool thing about RetroArch is I don't even need to do that. As soon as I hit this and hit close content, it saves it automatically. That's one thing I really like about this device and RetroArch is they pair so well together. And how easy is this to set up? You know what I was confused about was actually getting the ROMs onto this memory card, but I wouldn't sweat it. It just takes a little bit of time. I can cover in a video how to get all the ROMs onto the memory card. It's fairly easy. I have a ROG Ally X. You can use a computer. You just, take this memory card out, boom, put it in your computer or your ROG Ally X and download all of your ROMs and ROM files and put them on this device. So if you go to explore content, another thing that I wanted to cover or show you was ports. Ports are interesting because these are all these little computer games that I didn't know I would like, but I started diving into them and I actually really enjoy them. And they have a little bit of nostalgia, definitely, like all these look old school. Let's go to, let's hit this, let's just hit it, see what it looks like. Here's your volume, right there, turn it up. See? And even the music sounds epic, right? This is a little computer game that I'd never played. You could actually download it on this and play it. This, for the ports, it's interesting. So this is, I believe, start and select. Yep. So to close out ports, you hit start and select. But for any other RetroArch game, you press X in menu. So this is the MUOS setup. And then another thing I wanted to cover was actually customization and configuration. So if you hit the configuration here, see if I can get a better view of that. General settings, customization, boom. You can pick any backdrop. So what's awesome about this is theme picker. You pick your theme. You can download your themes because it's connected to Wi-Fi. So you download your themes through the internet. But if you go down, there's one really interesting one if you like Pokemon. But you see all the Fallout. You have all like different like anime stuff right here, Kanto OS. So you just hit it. Give it a minute. So now this is where, it starts loading your theme. This is going to take a while. Don't freak out if you see this screen, your RG34 is not broken. It's just computing. It's taking a little bit to update the file, upload it, install it onto your hard drive, or it's actually already installed, but it's like taking time to actually compute it. And there it goes. So now you back out and look at that. You have a completely different system, it feels like. You go to your favorites, go over to explore, history, your power, your reboot, your config. It's all Pokemon. So you hit explore, right? And now it shows your games in a different style with a little Pokemon ball on the right, which is a cool little touch. So, pros and cons to this thing. I could do another whole video, but pros is it's obviously small. It closes and fits in your pocket. Close, boom. And look at that. It actually goes to sleep for you. And then you open it back up. And then it comes right back to where you left off. It just takes a minute. But yeah, pros are, you can put it in your pocket. It's small. You got your analog. It's a nice screen for Game Boy Advance and PlayStation 1 games. I would say another pro is downloading the game. The games were relatively easy. It just took a minute. Like, it took some tinkering and getting used to. I know that the PlayStation 1 games were the hardest ones to figure out how to download. You see how it has 115 files? You have to literally edit the text in the file, and you have to download an M3U file in order to switch discs, because you know there's multiple disc games, like Final Fantasy VII is a 3-disc. So it's a different ball game when it comes to doing PS1 games on here. So that's a con, is running PS1 games on RetroArch. It takes some time and it takes some getting used to. But yeah, here's Final Fantasy VII. Plays normally, as you can see the screen. So I was using the analog. Is it analog? Oh, not for this one. I think it's Final Fantasy IX that does the analog. So 7, you have to do directional pad. But yeah, here's that mansion. Here's all these weird people. So as you can see, it's running and it's playing perfectly, which is another pro. Like even PS1 games, like it doesn't look bad at all. Like it plays perfectly. And then, you know, to close it out here. So let's get into some cons. Some cons are, it has to run with this. It only runs with this in it. Once you unplug this, it could crash the whole system. You have to make sure you shut this off completely and then you take it out. If you don't, it can crash the system and you might have to use this reboot button. That's why they actually put this one with the R right here. That's why they put it on here, because this thing is prone to crashes. This thing is not perfect. It's not like a Game Boy Advance SP when everything's built in and all set up. It's not perfect. It is an imperfect device. But there's so much critiquing you can do. There's so many hours that you can, you know, put into critiquing this device, my bad, which makes this just so much fun to play, and it's so rewarding when you put all of your own games in here, like, and then you could actually just, you know, boot it up and it starts playing. Yeah, so another pro, I would say, is the nostalgia. I love the nostalgia of these old games. Like, you can spend hours just playing these. You know, I mean, I've never even played this game. You know, I just download all these games to see if I could play it. Another pro, as I've already covered, it's only $80, and it plays all of these games. So, you know, I really do recommend picking one of these up. If you are a gamer that only really cares about retro and you're good with just PS1 and under, from PS1, SNES, Game Boy Advanced, Sega Genesis, you know, if that's your ballpark and you like the customization of this, I would say definitely pick this up. But if you're more of, you know, if you want to go PS2 and up, if you want Nintendo 3DS, if you want maybe even Xbox, you know, if you want all those, Nintendo 64 also doesn't run on this. You'd have to get a bigger device. But yeah, this is it. This is the RG34XXSP. This is just a quick review of it. Let me know what you like about it. The comments down below. Appreciate you watching the video. Have a good one.